We all know that the more things you have in your home, the more stressed you are. And I just hate stress, so I got rid of most of the things in my home. And now my home is always clutter-free. All right, dude, you're doing it again. Dude, why do I even invite you to these things? Because you need someone to hold the camera. What do you, don't show the couch. They're gonna know that I own stuff. You know, you also have a kid with toys, right? Yeah? Well, your shirt is stupid. You know, why don't you just share your clutter-free habits instead of insulting me, which is actually you? Fine, I'll do it. Not for you, but because these actually work. Say no to good things. Sometimes there are good things that you need to say no to in order to have a clutter-free home. And just have a space that feels calm, simple, and open. Maybe you don't get that chair that looks really cool and you got an ad for and it's 30% off right now. Maybe you don't accept some free gifts or things that were given to you or your kids. A lot of actually maintaining a clutter-free home is saying no to things before they come into your house. And sometimes in order to say yes to things that are really important, like having freedom, having a calm house, spending more time with your family, and for the purposes of this video, keeping your home clutter-free, you have to say no to some good things. They're not even bad, they could be good, but if you say yes to too many good things, your house is just gonna be full of good stuff, but you can't even walk around in it. Keep up your clear zones. If you have one room of your house that you've completely gotten to where you want it to be, maybe it's your office, your kitchen, your living room. Once you get it to a place where it is clutter-free, it is inviting, it's relaxing, practice keeping that room clear. Even if the rest of your house is a wreck, keep the progress that you have made, and then eventually you can end up taking over the rest of your house. So just set a rule, once something's clear, it's gotta stay that way. Be that guy or girl or whatever. If there is something that has always bugged you around your house, maybe it's the dishes don't get put away or the trash doesn't get taken out, be okay with being that person who takes care of that. It's something that I have taken on recently where I'm fine with just being the person that takes the trash out every day. It literally takes under a minute, and if it's literally a stressor in your life, it's totally worth that minute. Same thing with putting dishes in the dishwasher or taking them out. It's not a long task, but it could be a huge stressor and make your house feel dirty all the time. So be okay with that time coming out of you instead of letting it clutter up your home or cause tension in your relationship. Make a donation box. I've mentioned this before, but it's literally my favorite hack. Take some random box, put it in a prominent place in your home. As you're going through your house, pick up stuff, throw it in there. Have one day a week or a month that you schedule and you bring it somewhere to be donated, and you will start to see this flow of crap out of your house that will eventually lead to a more clutter-free home. Super simple, but it makes a really big impact. Which leads me into not taking free stuff. As an extremely frugal person, it's really easy for me to just take freebies, whether it's a Frisbee or a water bottle, pens, whatever it is. But that can also just lead to a bunch of crap being in my house that I don't really need. I never use any of that stuff, but it's so hard to say no. So this is just a habit of literally saying no to something and stopping taking things that you wouldn't pay money for. Pick up your blankets and pillows and stuff like that. We live in New England, so we end up using a lot of blankets, especially in the winter. Especially Meredith, she's always cold. But if you leave those on your couch or on the floor, which is super simple to do, it can make your entire room just feel cluttered, even though it's like one or two things. But because they're so big, they're on the floor, the back of the couch or whatever, it makes it feel like a wreck. So starting a habit where you always put the blanket or the pillow back on the couch, you fold it, you put it wherever it belongs, can make your whole room feel a lot less cluttered. On a side note, if you have like 6 blankets and you only ever use 1 or 2 of them, get rid of the other 4. That also helps a lot. The flat-free rule. That's not a good name. Whether it's your kitchen table, your dining room island, or maybe your office, flat surfaces have a tendency to collect stuff and collect it fast. This also makes your home feel super, super cluttered. So once or twice a day, start practicing cleaning up those flat surfaces. Once you invest the time to get them clean, keep them clean. We literally have to clear stuff off of here 2 to 3 times a day, but since we do it 2 to 3 times a day, it never takes 20 minutes. We can never not see the entire table, and doing just that helps this room feel so much more relaxed. Of course, there's also a decent echo in here now. But look how clean it looks. And speaking of having clean stuff, clean a bad habit out of your life. Cut it out, or better yet, replace it with something that is not as bad of a habit so you don't have this void that you end up filling with another bad habit. Try to actually put in something that is a positive, like the sponsor of this video, Fume. Fume is an award-winning flavored air device that does exactly that. Instead of electronic, fume is completely natural. Instead of vapor, it uses flavored air. And instead of harmful chemicals, fume uses all natural, delicious flavors. You get it. Instead of bad, it's actually good. It's a habit that you can enjoy. It can fill that spot where the bad habit was before, and you could feel free to like enjoy it and, you know, like take it easy. Kind of fills that void in a natural, guilt-free way. Your fume will come with an adjustable airflow dial, and it's designed with removable parts and magnets for fidgeting, giving your fingers kind of, you know, something to do while you're trying to de-stress and break that habit. They also have this thing called Base, which was just launched in January. It's a weighted stand to rest your fume on when you're not using it, with a magnet inside to keep it attached. Personally, I wasn't sure what to expect, but I have found that I really enjoy it. It feels really solid. It's like enjoyable to just hold. The crisp mint flavor was absolutely delicious. I was gonna show it to you, but I used them all. Fume has served over 150,000 customers. They have thousands of success stories. There's no reason you can't be one of them. So if you want to try them out, head over to tryfume.com/GabeBolt, or you can scan the QR code and use code GabeBolt, and you can get 10% off when you try a journey pack today. So yeah, check them out. Don't kick off your shoes. I know it's really fun to do, but when you kick off your shoes or you don't have a place where they actually belong, like we actually had to buy a place for our shoes to go, then it just ends up all over the floor and it gets out of hand really quickly. So taking the well under a minute of taking off your shoes, putting them away, emptying out whatever's in your backpack, hanging your backpack up, putting your keys away, putting your phone wherever it goes so that it just doesn't end up in your pocket and you're on it all day. Having a spot for everything and taking a minute to put it all away every time you come home can keep your home way cleaner. On a side note, you can also keep your car cleaner by actually bringing everything in when you come in. This is something that I've been struggling with for years. I'm still building on this, but literally take everything that you brought into your car out of your car to keep your car from becoming a complete train wreck. However, speaking of cars, once we hit 500,000 subscribers, I will finally be getting a Tesla. It's been my goal for a couple of years. If you want to help me get there, don't forget to subscribe. It is free, and I'm trying to bring you as much value as I possibly can. Clean up as you cook. This is a habit that I got from my mom, and I ignored it for a while, and I was wrong. As you're cooking, instead of taking everything out, you're cooking everything, and then you gotta spend like 20 minutes cleaning up. Just put each thing away after you use it. Use salt and pepper, put salt and pepper back. Use butter, put butter back. Use flour, put flour back. It's not that hard, and it keeps the mess well under control. You're not like overwhelmed afterwards and have to step away. You can actually sit down and enjoy your food without having to worry about cleaning up. Just wash the pans right away. This makes such a big difference. It's so much easier. Even just things like putting the dishes directly into the dishwasher or washing them right away instead of leaving them in a pile by the sink. It's well worth it. Now, going along with that, what might be my favorite rule of all time is to never let it soak. You might be one of those people who like to lie to themselves and say, oh, this needs to soak, so I'm just gonna throw it in the sink. It doesn't need to soak. What needs to happen is it needs to get cleaned right away. Maybe 5 to 10% of stuff actually needs to soak for a bit. The rest, you're just being lazy. Put it in the dishwasher, wash it right away. Don't let it soak. Don't do it. Talk to your fam and make a plan. Whether it's your family, your kids, your husband, your wife, roommates, explaining to them why you want to have a clutter-free home, some of the benefits like reducing stress, saving money, more clarity of thought, better productivity. Explain to them why you want to do what you do and make a plan, or just ask them to be involved. Or maybe you don't even want to talk to them. Just send them this video and be like, hey, I think this seems like a cool way to live our life without always having to worry about people stopping by because our house is trash and it's always stressful when I walk in the door. What do you think about it? It's literally only gonna take like 18 seconds. So either talk to them or send them this video. And if somebody did that, then hello. Make a plan for your bathroom sink, or better yet, install one of these. We used to have stuff on our bathroom sink all the time. It always feels messy. Now the only thing on here is my toothbrush and soap. And look how much better this looks. We got this thing right here from Amazon last year. It was pretty cheap. It looks nice. It holds all of our crap that we do use every single day. It keeps our counters clear and doesn't really take up any space. So either get something like this or find a way to organize your drawers or your sink, because that really makes a difference on how your bathroom is gonna feel. Clean out your refrigerator. I once found something that was 4 years out of date inside of my refrigerator, and I was almost eating it. I don't know what would have happened. I'm sure it was fine. But literally taking a minute a few times a week and going through your refrigerator, getting rid of food that has gone bad and is starting to grow in the back, checking the dates on random stuff to see if it might kill you. Your fridge shouldn't be stuffed with food all the time. There should be a plan in place that you follow. There's a stat that like the average American throws out like 25% of their food or something like that. So make sure you have some type of plan for your food and then regularly make sure that you're sticking to it. The 1 minute rule, which is eerily similar to the 2 minute rule, but that's my favorite rule of all time. And that is, if it takes a minute or less, then just do it right away. Pick up the thing off the counter, throw the trash out, throw the clothes in the laundry basket, start the laundry, put the dishes away. Most things don't actually take that long, and yet we procrastinate, we let things build up, and it's much easier to keep up than it is to catch up. So just keep up with stuff and remind yourself that this doesn't take all that long. It's literally like a minute. Plan your attack. Now, I realize that not all decluttering is gonna take a minute or less. Some things do take a bit longer, especially when you're starting out. So make a plan on how you're going to tackle it. That only takes a minute. I use this every day to plan out pretty much everything in my life. Just sit down with any blank sheet of paper or day planner or whatever you have and just write out, I'm gonna do this at this time. I'm gonna ask this person to help me. I'm gonna take care of the kitchen or the living room or whatever it is. And then once I get it there, I'm gonna use all these other habits to keep it going. Make a plan. The nightly reset. This is probably the most simple but most effective habit that I do every single day. And that is, I've set a rule that I will never go to bed with stuff on the counters, with dishes in the sink, with stuff on the floor in the living room. I take generally 1 to 5 minutes and I reset my house every night so that when I wake up first thing in the morning, when I'm doing my morning routine, I'm not thinking about all this other stuff. I'm not stressed about things. Everything's clean and open. I don't have to take that time and clean up all the stuff that I was too tired to do the night before. Generally 1 to 5 minutes, do a nightly reset. It will change your space. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and I'll see you next week.